Why does my car vibrate at high speeds? So it could be just, you're frustrated with it, you're annoyed by it, but it could be a signal for some underlying issues that may need attention. If you've ever been, cruising down the highway and noticed that your car is shaking or vibrating, well, you're not alone. The problem is it can stem from a variety of causes ranging from minor to a major big deal. So we're going to explore some of the common reasons for car vibrations at high speeds and potential consequences and what you can do to take care of it. Always, I'm going to tell you flat out that you need to bring it into an automotive repair shop. You need to let professionals be professionals. I'm going to maintain that throughout this series beyond a shadow of a doubt. All about auto repair isn't about making the do-it-yourselfer better. It's about actually building a relationship with the automotive repair shop so that you actually, are getting the best bang for the buck, the best value, not the cheapest priced, but the best value for your car. So some of the common causes for a car vibrating at high speeds, shaking, all kinds of stuff. The number one reason isn't your tire to be out of balance. And if you're to balance a tire, all you're doing is making it to where it's out of round a little bit because there's no such thing as a perfect circle. You're trying to counteract as it goes yin, you're going to go yang. That's all you're trying to do by balancing a tire. We do that with putting on weights, different kinds of weights for different kinds of tires and wheels. So, the automotive professional, your automotive repair store will definitely know that, which ones to use on your vehicle. But if you can feel the vibration in your steering wheel, that normally means that you have a out of balance front tire or two. If you have a vibration in your seat, that normally means that you have a rear tire or two out of balance. The tire can be, it can get out of balance for a lot of different reasons. So you can have uneven tire wear. No tire is going to wear perfectly smooth. You should actually have your tires rotated and balanced like every 5 to 6,000. Used to, we did an oil change at 3,000. So every other oil change, we did a rotate and balance. Now, most oil changes are at 5,000. So, and if you're going 10 or 15 or 12,000 miles on an oil change, your car still needs to be taken care of. So I recommend going to the 5,000 mile oil change. And then every time you come in, have the tires rotated and balanced. Because what happens is when the tires are on the front of your car, they're turning back and forth. So they're wearing unevenly. You keep them on the front and they can actually develop uneven wear patterns like there's no tomorrow. So an uneven tire wear, need to be, really, really aware of it. You can actually have increased fuel consumption due to inefficiency. I mean, think about it. The more efficient everything is, the better gas mileage. Are we talking about a lot of gas? No, but we're talking about, over the course of the life of that vehicle, the course of your life, it's a big deal. So, you can have misaligned wheels because, if your alignment is out, and it can be caused by, you hitting stuff like potholes and curbs, general wear and tear on your suspension pieces. Your alignment needs to be done once a year every 15,000 miles. So, you get the uneven or even worse, uneven and rapid tire wear. I mean, in other words, when your tire wears on the inside or the outside, and literally the funny part is with a wheel alignment, is you're like this. So when you're leaning in or leaning out, that's camber. So if you're leaning in, you're wearing the inside of your tires. If you're leaning out, you're wearing the outside of your tires. When you're towed in, you've got a toe-in problem. Your wheels and your tires are facing like this, and you're just scraping extra rubber as you're going down the road. Okay, or they're towed out or they're towed in. So the two things that can cause tire wear, which is camber or toe, really don't normally cause the car to pull. Has to. One tire being in front of the other is what causes the tire to pull, and then have to be an extreme case before that would actually wear your tires. So the two things that can cause tire wear, hammer and toe, don't cause a pull, but will chew your tires up. And the one thing that causes a pull, one tire being in front of the other, won't normally wear your tires. So like on an alignment, most cars are set up with the right tire being a little bit ahead of the left tire to account for the crown of the road where you go straight down the road. So you have a more positive caster on your right tire than you do on your left tire to account for the road crown so that you still go straight. So realize that the bigger the road crown, that can cause pulls all by itself. You can have, worn or damaged tires. So if you have a bulge, it's if you have a tire that's going out of round, it's broken cords on the inside. It's weather beat up. It's all kinds of stuff. So obviously a tire that's got a bulge on it can definitely cause a huge vibration, and it's really probably not very long for the world, and I ain't going to go fast on that. Not going to happen. So, remember the tread wear that's uneven or excessive. If you're getting noisy operation, then a noisy tire that wasn't noisy to begin with normally means that you've got uneven, a very regulated uneven wear. And it's that regulated uneven wear that's causing it to start making noise. You can have bent wheels, bent rims, wheels, whatever you want to call them. So normally, again, it's potholes or curbs. There's all kinds of things, and realize that the car weighs a lot. So if you think that you just barely hit something, well, you got the weight of the car that's adding to the impact. So it doesn't really take a lot. And depends on whether you're turning or not, you're hitting it straight on, depends on so many variables. But normally when you're clipping a curb, you're not clipping it head on. If you are, that's a scary process within itself. You can have vibrations when you apply the brakes. So you're at high speeds and you hit the brake, because, traffic's shutting down in front of you and you feel a vibration. That could be warped front brake rotors. That could be, it could be loose suspension pieces. That could be all kinds of stuff. So if you have your rack and pinion and you've got inner socket assemblies on your rack and pinion, they're like this. Okay. So it's a ball and socket. It's just like your outer tie rods, your ball joints. They're a ball and socket scenario. They're designed to go all kinds of different directions. They're just not designed to go in and out. It's like, think about it, your hip. So you want somebody yanking on your hip all the time? Well, that's exactly what's going, your hip bone, your leg bone going into your hip. I mean, it's designed to go all kinds of different directions, but it's not designed to go in and out. And that's what we're doing when we have, shocks and struts that are worn out, starting to be worn out. You need to replace stuff before it gets worn out. But if your shocks and your struts are worn out, then you're creating excess pressure and force on all of your suspension pieces. Then they start to wear. And then we start getting vibrations and grains and all kinds of weird stuff. Definitely need to be aware that loose suspension pieces definitely cause the vehicle to go out of alignment. They can, and think about it. You got loose suspension pieces. You hit the brakes and it goes like this. You hit the gas, it goes like this. You go around a corner and one's holding traction more than the other. So it starts vibrating. We can have drivetrain or transmission problems. So you can have your constant velocity joints. You can have your universal joints. You can have all kinds of stuff that are your U-joints. You can have a damaged drive shaft. You can have a drive shaft because they're balanced as well. They have weights on the drive shaft to keep it moving, perfect. It's really hard to make a drive shaft that comes off of the assembly line perfect. Normally you're going to have to add a weight here or there. They can actually fall off. So are we vibrating under acceleration at high speeds? Are we vibrating when we're braking under deacceleration? Is it at a constant speed, always at 60 or always at 75 or whatever that we're vibrating? All of these things matter. So when you bring it into the automotive repair shop, part of your responsibility as the car owner is to give it as much information as you possibly can. And, the automotive repair store should and will test drive it. But if they're not by a freeway and you're at freeway speeds, it's kind of hard for them to get it up to freeway speeds. So the more information that you're going to give them, the better. So, you could literally have engine issues. You could have a misfire. You can have clogged fuel injectors, a faulty spark plug. You can have all kinds of stuff. I mean, think about it. The vibrations, especially even at lower speeds, you're going to have, reduced fuel efficiency. You can be causing a lot of problems in your engine if you're dropping raw fuel into a cylinder that's misfiring and it's not burning that gas. So you don't want to ignore the vibrations in your car because it can definitely lead to increased wear and tear, not just on your tires, but on your suspension and a bunch of other components, your motor mounts, your transmission mounts. You're going to go from pay me now, pay me later. Pay me now is normally 99% of the time cheaper, pay me now, than it is to have a problem like your shocks or your struts are beating the tar out of your suspension. So now you get to replace a bunch of suspension pieces along with the shocks and struts, along with the tires. It doesn't make sense. You start replacing parts before they go bad. That makes sense, So you need to come in for regular inspections. So work with an automotive repair store, get your oil changed every 5,000 miles. They should be doing a courtesy check or a digital vehicle inspection. If they're not doing a digital vehicle inspection, that's where they send you the pictures and stuff, then they're not using, current technology. So you should come in, you should get your tires rotated and balanced every 5,000, the alignment done at least once a year every 15,000 miles. Of course, while we're doing the rotate and balance, then we can check your brakes. You need to do your level best to avoid harsh driving conditions. And when you're in harsh driving conditions, be careful going over the potholes and the bumps and stuff. But mainly you need to address the issues promptly. But you definitely need to bring it in and let, an automotive repair store get a great relationship established with one. So again, car vibrations, at high speeds can be caused by a bunch of various factors, from unbalanced tires to more complex drivetrain issues. By understanding the potential causes and solutions, you can take proactive steps to address the problem and keep your vehicle running like it's supposed to. Regular maintenance, prompt attention, great relationship with your automotive repair store. All of these things are so critical, it's not even funny in taking care of your vehicle. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it.